Welcome to your midday focus. Please use these meditations to reclaim your focus, reclaim your alignment, because it's very easy as we sit for our morning check-in and we come back to that space. We use a meditation such as this or a spiritual teacher that's able to pull us back into that space of relief, of alignment, of peace. And then we finish that 30 minutes, or ever how long it is. And we go back out into a very mental, very thinking world. And it's very easy to lose our focus or to allow the mind to repossess our focus. And what do I mean by that? As soon as you are no longer holding your conscious attention here in this space with me, listening to my voice, listening to the words that I'm speaking, listening to the space, the silence even here when I'm not speaking. As soon as this ends, your mind will come back in as the center of your focus. It will then take over my spot. Or it may be fighting with you right now, fighting for this spot that I'm trying to hold. I'm trying to hold your attention here with me so that I can pull you into relief. But you may hear your mind talking and competing, trying to talk to you about something that you either hold fear around, you hold significance, importance, you believe in it strongly, you're still attached to. Your mind knows exactly what will get your attention. And I need the mind to know that there is no competition. There is no struggle. It is welcome to be here. It is welcome to continue to talk. It can do whatever it chooses to do. As we sit in a space of relief, it is welcome to do whatever it needs to do around that. As you and I, as the observer of these minds, sit here together in the space of relief, feeling relief in our body. Your mind is welcome to do and say whatever it needs, to talk about whatever stories, situations, people, fears. It's okay. It's okay. But you now are sitting here with me in the space of relief, in the space where flow begins to take over. Energy begins to flow through you. This energy begins to take over your body and begins to move you through the day, moves you into the flow. After our morning focus meditation, I was in my space of relief. I did not wake up that way, but after the refocusing, I was back. And I was in the flow, I was in the alignment of how Spirit wants to naturally flow me through this day. And I wasn't thinking, I was just doing. I was being in my environment, I was being with what was in front of me. I wasn't being with thoughts, I wasn't being with stories, I wasn't being with the past, I wasn't being with the future. I was just being. And I found myself in the kitchen, and I found myself with the idea I want to prepare a meal ahead of time. And I really felt in relief around, I would love to prepare several things and spend time in the kitchen this morning. And my mind immediately came in with, no, you must sit and work, and you must give this to this group and that group, and you can't do that. And in that moment, it's as if I turned to the aspect of my inner child that was feeling really good about spending time in the kitchen. And I could see this other aspect, another aspect of the inner child that said, no, you'll get in trouble. You've got to be doing something else. All part of my mind. I'm just breaking it down into two aspects of inner children. And this part that was on edge and no, you must be giving and doing, and that's not. And I looked at the inner child that was feeling really good and in flow and ease and relief around just spending time in the kitchen preparing food. And I looked at her and I gave her permission. I said, yeah, it's okay. We can do that. It's okay that we do that. I created space and permission for her to be in that flow. And the feeling of ease and relief grew stronger. And there was joy around being there, doing that task. Without feeling like I needed to be chasing something, going somewhere else, pulling my energy somewhere else to get to something else. There was no desperation. It was ease, enjoyment. But shouldn't you be doing some? Shouldn't you be working? Shouldn't you be earning money somehow? Shouldn't you be? Why? For what? There is a time and a place for that. And when Spirit wants to flow me in that direction, I will flow in that direction. Just as I have now flowed into that direction now, I am creating something. But not because of force, not because of trying, not because of desperation, but a feeling of, I would enjoy that. I really want to do that. That would feel good to me. And I held and maintained my feeling of relief as I flowed into this space. You will find your natural daily flow as you learn to trust in the spiritual way, in the spiritual plane, into that energy that is you. As you allow yourself to sink into that by focusing on relief, returning your focus over and over to ease, relief. It will slowly begin to move you into a physical world where you have more and more space and time to do those things of enjoyment without feeling like you have to be here and you have to be there and you're obligated. And that may be where you start. Right now you may be listening to this, sitting at a job that you do not enjoy. I invite you to relax and to sink into relief. Carry the energy, the spiritual connection, the spiritual flow of relief in your body as you sit there surrounded in that environment that your mind got you there. Spirit didn't take you to this job that you don't enjoy. This was all from living in the mental plane with all the belief blocks that you have there, being moved by your mind. And that is okay. I have found myself in those places. Bring relief into your body. It doesn't matter what your mind has created for you, what environment, what physical reality you have awoken into. You're waking up and you're saying, oh, there's a different energy to sit in, and oh my, where am I, and what kind of physical reality is this? Don't go there with your mind. It's okay. Accept it. Your mind will want to then create a story of resistance out of that. Don't go into resistance. Wake up into the environment that you're in, the physical reality that you're in. Hey, it's okay. This is my new starting point. I am in relief. And I know as I hold myself more consistently in relief, more and more and more, that this flow is going to flow around all those blocks I created. It's going to flow into supportive environments. It's going to flow into space that allows me time to do those things that my heart, that little inner aspect of my child was wanting to do, but kept getting shut down by another aspect. That part is going to get to emerge more and more and more. Space will be provided. Finances will be provided. Whatever needs to be provided in the physical world to support that aspect. That inner child that wants to come out. That heart. As you sit in your flow, as you sit in your relief, as you find your daily flow, as you return over and over and over again to this space of relief, all throughout the day, the mind will drag you out and then you'll come back. The mind will drag you out and then you'll come back. Just keep coming back. It doesn't matter how many times you fall back asleep and are seduced by the mind. It doesn't matter. Just keep coming back. And you'll flow a little further. A little more space, a little more support. You're flowing, it's flowing around you. We tend to think that we're flowing through it and to it. But really, we sit still in relief. We are stationary. We are the space that is not changing. This is the only space that never changes. This is the only space of permanence as we sit in relief. And what happens is the physical world then begins to change around us, to clear up around us. We look at it kind of linear, as if we're moving through and to different things on the timeline, but really we're sitting here in the flow, and things start flowing to us that couldn't flow to us before. We are an opening now to those things as we sit in relief. Those blocks that we could spend weeks mentally trying to undo with affirmations or whatever else, we could do that. And sometimes it's okay if you want to do both. If your mind is really strong and won't allow you to sit in this space of relief very much, it's okay to do it in that way. But please practice this, as it is more powerful and much quicker. You just become open to it, and you find your natural flow. So after this meditation, I invite you to continue to focus on the word relief. I'm in relief. I revisited relief. I was there this morning. I was there midday. And every time I visit there, I open more and more and more to a supportive physical environment that supports enjoyment, that supports relief. I open. And then every time I allow my mind to take me back into worry, into focusing on the job I don't like, into focusing on what I don't like and what I don't want and how horrible everything is. Every time I allow my mind to do that, I close. That opening that I had closes. And now those things, instead of flowing into me, they just flow around me. And I miss them. And I never see them. I never experience them. They're there. But I'll never run into them, because my mind causes me to close. Right now you're open. Right now you're completely open. And those things are flowing into your experience. Right now. Allow it in. Relax into it as it's flowing around you. Relax into it. And then as you go about your day, visualize yourself open to the flow. And allow that flow to move you through your physical world, through this experience, through your day. Allow it to move you through your day without stress, without pressure, without worry. Just moving through the environment that you're in. What needs doing? Do it from a space of relief. If you are a Soul Strong member, I'm going to begin doing, I'm not going to make a big commitment statement of how long we will do this. But next Wednesday, or this coming Wednesday night, for all the Soul Strong members, I will be doing a live meditation on YouTube. You will be given the link to join live. And of course, there will be a replay for you Soul Strong members if you don't join live. But let me tell you the benefits of meditating live together with a group of people. The more consciousness is focused and sitting in the same energy builds that energy quicker and stronger, and makes it easier to feel and to sink into, especially for those who are new to the practice. It's like jumping on if you remember those merry-go-rounds, those very dangerous merry-go-rounds, by the way, at the playground when we were growing up, you would get on them and they would, you get the momentum going and they're spinning faster and faster, and kids would get flung off or caught underneath. I mean, it was bad if you grew up in the 80s. Playground made us tough. Meditation is like that with a group of those who are able to go to that space and join that space. You feel the energy easier and stronger, and it has a more powerful effect. You jump in on a merry-go-round that's already going. You don't have to, if you're a one-man show and you're just kind of start off with you're trying to get it going, you're using a lot of energy and a lot of focus to get that thing going by yourself. You have 10 people standing around that wheel and y'all all start running at the same time. How quickly is that thing spinning? Same thing. Please join live if you at all can. It will be Wednesday night, April the April the 27th, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, for members of Soul Strong only. This will be an unlisted link. To get the link, you have to join Soul Strong. To join Soul Strong, you can find how to do that in the box below. I hope you all have a wonderful, aligned day in your natural flow.